Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Asian Success. I'm Jenny Yu, founder of Himalaya Quantitative Solutions. Today, I'm honored to be joined by Dr. Ming Wang, a world-renowned laser eye surgeon and a philanthropist. Among his many achievements, he has won numerous awards, including NPR's Philanthropist of the Year. His Wang Foundation has provided sight restoration surgery free of charge to the patient from 40 states in the US and 55 countries. You can see his journey from a poor Chinese immigrant who defied all arts to become a world-renowned eye surgeon in the United States in the film Sight, and in his autobiography, From Darkness to Sight. Dr. Wang, thank you for being here. I would like to start by asking you to tell us about yourself, your book, and the movie.
Thank you, Janet, for the opportunity to be on your show. I appreciate it. And I want to answer briefly your question. This is I made a slide for a movie, and myself live in Nashville, Tennessee. And the film October 27th will be released by Universal Studios about my life. And in a moment, I'm going to show the trailer about where I came from China. And eventually, I was able to obtain my degree in MIT and Harvard. And so I had a doctorate degree in lasers and doctorate degree in medicine, so I could be a good laser eye surgeon. And I performed over 55,000 procedures, including over 4,000 doctors. And these are textbooks that are published over the years in cataract and LASIK surgery fields. And these are textbooks that are translated into Mandarin Chinese. I play the Chinese violin and also dancing to raise money for medical charity. My book, autobiography, From Darkness to Sight, has been made a movie, Sight now, and has to do with the story as an immigrant. It will be released on October 27th, Universal Studio. The movie described my work about inventing a device trying to reduce the scar and improve eyesight. The corneal blindness due to injury and trauma is a worldwide problem, leading cause of blindness in third world countries. And we knew that the unborn fetus does not scar, so how can we do research without hurting a life? And I've been trying to figure out if there's a common ground between faith, moral, ethical principles, and science. Build a foundation to study if there's how do we find the common ground. And I began to do research on this is our foundation on the placenta, the amniotic sac. So we start doing research on the amniotic sac, and the thinking is that the amniotic sac surrounding unborn child, that is what conferred the scarless healing ability. So we got placenta from mothers donated after giving birth to children. The placenta is discarded, and I developed the amniotic through research, animal experimentation, and eventually invented the world's first amniotic membrane contact lens. And this is my first US patent. And so, for example, this is a patient with scar injury and went everywhere and could be helped over the years. And we put the amniotic membrane contact lens on, and her eyesight restored. The amniotic membrane contact lens has been used now by tens of thousands of eye doctors throughout the world in nearly every nation, and millions of patients have their eyesight restored.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that story. So how did your parents and your upbringing in China build your value and character, and how have your patient, America, and God reshape who you are, how you operate in and outside the surgical room?
Thank you. Good question, Jenny. First of all, my parents influenced me significantly. They imprinted me ever since I was a little kid, the desire to work hard and to do my best so that I can, have a good life. So they work very hard when I was young. And in the film, you will see, if one sees the film, that we were living in poverty. But despite the poverty, my parents were able to see beyond the circumstance and believe there's a better tomorrow. So without my parents, I would not have today. So that's why the film site has been dedicated to them. And in terms of those suffering and in the past during Cultural Revolution, everything as an immigrant after came to this country, it's really now it does help me to be able to relate to my patients. Our charity foundation has been able to help blind orphan children from around the world, and many of their stories are featured in the film site. And so I could relate to them better because I used to be in their shoes. I used to suffer, and I knew the pain of being in the darkness. And then finally, regarding faith, I became a Christian during medical school in Boston at Harvard Medical School because I couldn't. I realized that science is not a complete picture. It cannot answer some of the questions, such as how the complex eye can be formed in such an orderly manner in such a short period of time. And so I interact with a Christian. Actually, he's a professor, and he showed me that there's a creator behind the complex structure. So that's how I began the journey as someone who believes in God and then Jesus Christ specifically. And the faith has really helped me trying to figure out, with all the medical training, I got 2 doctorate degrees, one in medicine, one in laser physics, because I want to be a good laser eye surgeon. How could those hard-earned medical skill, what should be the purpose of my life? And it was really Christ who gave me the idea that I should use my hard-earned medical skill to help those who need most help, which are blind children.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. So along the line, like you have with the Chinese Cultural Revolution, you had a hard time, hardship in that childhood, but yet you're still able to see beyond the pain, the circumstance, and even the culture, and turn those pain and the poverty and the prejudice into the love and the healing others. How have you done that?
Great question again, Jenny. Before I became a Christian, I really could not understand why I had to go through all these suffering. As human beings, that when we could not understand the purpose of these sufferings, that we could not move on. And I was stuck in the past. After I became a Christian, I realized that, God has a purpose, even though at the time of suffering, I did not understand. That is, the purpose now I understand is to give me that experience so that I can relate more to my patients, those blind orphan children from around the world, their suffering, the pain that they are in. So I do believe that my motivation of working hard to help those who need the most help come from my once not having anything myself, and I do appreciate so much America, and I'm troubled by the fact this country in many ways is going the wrong direction, that we are becoming a nation that is increasingly fixated on differences rather than appreciating what we all have in common as fellow Americans. So I want to change that. I want to tell a story of the immigrant who, it's like for ophthalmology, we know who appreciate sight the most, those who used to be blind. Who appreciate freedom the most, those who used to not have freedom. And one of them, an immigrant, and I wanted to really send a strong message to America that we got a great country, not perfect, we got lots of problems, but we should really try to overcome our polarization and try to find the common ground, try to work together and put the interest of our nation above the interest of any, say, political parties.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that insight. I totally agree. Only when for those who did not have freedom, they appreciate them more. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So my next question is, what's your ultimate drive to be a doctor? You can be anything, like you graduated from Harvard, you can be anything. How did you know that's your calling?
I want to be a doctor because I specifically want to be an eye doctor, because people ask this question all the time, why you work so hard, and still I do, because I live for that moment. I mean, few of us know someone who came out of darkness. Say in the film Side features a gentleman who was in darkness for 13 years, got married to a lady that he had never seen. And
Mhm.
after the surgery, that he was able to see his wife that he had already married for a few years for the first time. So few of us know someone who come out of darkness to light, like that. But even fewer of us are actually there at the moment, that special moment of these patients' life when they actually come out of darkness into light. So what motivates me is the excitement of being able to see human life change like that, and think about with all the senses we have, hearing,
Mhm.
touching,
Right.
speaking, what is the most important sense, the loss of which is the most devastating? And I have to say for me, is vision. So to
Right.
be involved in restoring the most important sense of human being, to me is
Mhm.
the most meaningful work, so that I can do my part to help make the world a little better place to live.
Thank you. So do you think um being a doctor, particular eye doctor, you restore the sight for people? Do you think it is the journey, the journey of healing yourself through
Yes,
healing others?
excellent question again. Excellent. My autobiography, From Darkness to Sight, which I'm holding a copy now, is precisely that, Jenny. It's called From Darkness to Sight. It has two parallel lines. One is the remarkable journey of some of our blind orphan children patients of our foundation, their
Yeah.
remarkable journey and the courage from darkness to sight. We
Mm.
brought them from around the world to help them at our foundation in Nashville, Tennessee. But
Mhm.
also at the same time, my patients, my blind orphan children patients, their courage, their motivation, they also help me, their eye doctor, come from
Mhm.
my own darkness to light, emotionally and spiritually. They were the one who helped me realize that we as human beings are ultimately limited. We need to be humble and be willing to ask from beyond ourselves. So from darkness to sight, from which the book that with the film side is made, is based on both the journey of my patients from darkness to sight physically, and my own journey as their eye doctor, my own from
Mhm.
darkness to light spiritually.
Well, that's a beautiful comparison. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So one of the question, you work so hard, and even you was very successful, you still work very, very hard. So beside hard working, what other factors are contributing to your success?
I think my ultimate success, I have the two layers. One is in life, I've experienced different things, and I consider myself very lucky. So, for example, among doctors, medicine is so fast developing. It's about medicine and technology. And most of the doctors have only got half of the training, which is the medicine. They got to medical school. But today, medicine is so high tech, ever so more so.
Mhm.
But I'm being fortunate. I've got a chance to learn medicine and my doctorate degree in medicine and another doctorate degree in laser physics. So the first thing I want to do is to help other doctors who didn't have the opportunity, most of the doctors didn't have the opportunity to study technology in depth, so that they can improve their skill in technology. Only then they can deliver the best care.
Mhm.
So I'll be involved in teaching, sharing the knowledge that I have with
Uh-huh.
I published 10 textbooks, as I mentioned, and 7 of which have translated to Mandarin Chinese. So that's one purpose, shared knowledge. A second purpose is I wanted to bring my culture root to an Eastern Asian, to the Western society, to share with folks about Chinese music, art. That's why I play Chinese violin, the dancing, and it's about to combine East and West, I guess the best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
the
Oh,
second.
that leads to my next question.
Mhm.
So what's your advice to the individual with different cultural background who also pursue professional excellency? How can they harness the best of different cultures and then become successful in spite of, but also because their cultural background?
Yes, I think is another excellent question. I think two things. What I learned is number one, the movie actually said the present is made possible by the past. So as an immigrant minority and people from different culture and nationalities from around the world come to America as an immigrant, we should always remember where we came from. But at the same time, there's another line that is not only the present made possible by the past, but also the future is created by the present. We also need to know that we need to be at peace with the past and embrace the present. So I think it's important to recognize where we're from, but at the same time, we have to be able to be open-minded, embrace American society. So I feel, in today's world, it's not about East better than West or West better than East. It's about
Mhm.
taking the best of Eastern and Western culture,
Right,
and so that
right.
we can be a better human being because of the diversity.
Yeah, yeah. But it's great you put together that way. Your past, present, and future, they all harmlessly
Yeah,
linked together.
thank you.
Yeah. So also you one of the thing I think you did most amazing thing is you started your Wang Foundation for site restoration. And why it is important to you to provide life-changing surgery free of charge?
It's a great question again. After many years in school, I actually went to school, Jenny, believe it or not, 31 years. I'm re- I'm really 82. I just aged well. Just kidding. So I went to lots of schooling. So in one of my prayers to Christ, and I prayed, I said, God, what should I use my hard-earned medical skill for? And Christ said to help those people who needs the most help. I said, who is most help? He said, blind. I said, yes, they need help. Orphan, yes, they need more help. And children, yes, they need the most help. So it was really Christ who instilled in me this idea to use the skill to help those human beings that who needs the most help. So what inspired me is if I'm going to be a follower of Christ, I need to heed to his instruction and the purpose to live in a purpose-driven life as such. I always tell young people today in America, they're studying science and technology, and sometimes they forget about Christ and forget about faith. And I tell them that, watch the film Sight and learn that science give you the tools. Science
Right,
is necessary. You have to be good at what you do. So it's a necessary,
right,
but it's not
right,
sufficient. It's not sufficient. And the belief in Christ and a purpose-driven life give you a sense of purpose. What you're going to use the tools, science for. In my
right,
particular case, is to help blind
right,
orphan children. But for everybody out there listening to this podcast, then you may have, your own purpose. But
right,
nonetheless, it's using those tools to have a
right,
meaningful purpose. I think ultimately, for me, all these purpose add together. It's just one thing to make
mhm.
to make the world a little better place to live.
Thank you. Thank you. I like how you phrased the purpose-driven life.
Yes.
Yeah, hope all of us can find our own purpose sooner than later. I think your story is not just a immigrant story. It's a story of all of us. It's about fight for our dreams, overcome difficulties, and find the peace with our past and truly embrace the present. Thank you, Dr. Wang, for your extraordinary story and for sharing with us. It's inspirational to hear your journey.
Thank you. Thank you. And don't forget, the film will be shown by Universal Studios on October 27th, Friday, in theaters across the United States. I think it's a chance for anyone who appreciates what we have in America, which is freedom. You know,
Yeah.
this is about freedom. Anybody who appreciates what we have in America, the freedom to worship, the faith, and for Christians, the transforming effect of believing God, and even for non-Christians or people with other faith and religion, it's about their shared humanity.
Right.
And also the film side is about our common ground, and that in America is so polarized, we are increasingly unable to work across political aisles, racial divides, and ethnic divisions. I think it's because we are so polarized because we forgot to appreciate. We have somehow taken the freedom for granted. You know, when you don't appreciate something, you tend to be polarized. For example, husband and wife in a marriage, there's difference always. But if you don't appreciate marriage, because difference, you may shout and yell and hurting each other's feeling. But if, on the other hand, given the same difference, if you do appreciate the marriage, you're more likely to change your attitude to looking for what we have in common. So lack of common ground seeking today in America is a symptom reflecting root cause, and that cause is we have taken the freedom we have in America for granted. So Sight is a movie to remind America that we got a precious freedom in America. We got a great nation. With our problems, still, we have a country that so many people from around the world, the refugee, immigrant like myself, put our lives on the line so we can get to the other side. What's on the other side? The opportunity to live in America. So let's appreciate America more, not just by singing a national anthem, but actually doing something to prove we love this country by being more willing to work together despite our differences.
Thank you. Thank you for share your thoughts on the common ground. I like that concept. Thank you, Ian. I really appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in, and remember to watch the movie Sight when it's hit the theater on October 27th.
I'm going to help you see again.
You said it was impossible.
Ah, there he is, the good doctor.
You're going to be on the cover of the Tennessee Herald tomorrow morning. You may get a date out of this.
Not with that picture.
Very funny.
Our pro bono office got a call from India. A little girl, 6 years old.
Apparently, street beggars make more money if they're legitimately blind. So the stepmother poured sulfuric acid in each of her eyes.
I'm going to help you see again, Kajan.
Is it true that multiple doctors declared your patient irreversibly blind?
Yes, but I developed this new breakthrough technology. Here we go. Do you see the light?
No. I can't see anything.
I have this patient from India. She reminds me of some things in the past that I can't get over.
The present is made possible by the past.
A long time ago back in China, there was an uprising in my hometown. Many bad things happened.
So we came to America.
Yes.
It's hard getting into medical school, but you coming from China, don't waste your time. You cannot change the past, Ming.
I feel like I'm stuck.
Hello, doctor. This is Maria.
We want to give her a chance to see again.
I don't even know if I can perform surgery anymore. I left you.
Stop it. You need to just let go.
I just don't want Maria to end up like Kajan.
Can only do our best. I'm with you, Ming. We can do this.
I refuse to believe there is no purpose.
I will be praying for you.
Kajal is teaching me that there's more to life than what you see. We have to keep going.
Thought you said it was impossible.
Can you see yourself, Maria?
I'm so pretty.